Hey, everybody, it's Scott Steen with winnersandwhiners.com, and this is Today in Sports Betting. Congratulations, everybody. You have made it to the weekend. It is the Saturday edition, and we're going to check out the one NBA game on the slate. Scott, you ready for a little Lakers? I know you got a nice ticket on the Lakers, 3-1 right now. Just looking for them to close them out tonight, huh?
Something like that. I know Anthony Davis is currently questionable as he's still dealing with an ankle injury. Assuming he's going to play, but you don't know if he's going to be anywhere near 100%. Yeah, overall NBA was pretty good for me yesterday. I know I wanted the Heat to win because I also have a Heat ticket to win the East and to win the title. But I know that my favorite lean was the over, and recommended 3-player props as well. Went 2-1 in those. Crowder went over his despite going 0 for 6 from 3, which was pretty unfortunate.
Dreadful.
But Tatum over 28.5 cashed, and I even had a bold Tyler Hero under 17.5, and he ended up with 14. So 2-1 on those. Over was right. I leaned Miami for the points, but overall, yeah, pretty solid day in the NBA.
Apparently, him and Robinson cannot score.
Well, Robinson was good today.
At the same time.
They take turns.
You can't have Hero and Robinson both do well. So yeah,
It
Robinson
looked so good early for Miami, and then everything just fell apart so quickly.
Yeah. The Celtics just they stepped on the gas there in the especially in the third quarter.
Boston scored 18 points in the first quarter and still finished with 121.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing right there. And yeah, I thought we were in trouble on our over when they put up 44 in the first quarter. 55 in the second quarter, we're sitting at 99. You're like, yeah, okay. And by golly, they came out and put up 66 in the third quarter. Boston put up 41 in the third quarter, Scott. And that.
Yep, I was trying to think of how to hedge my Miami series, and I figured out how I'm going to do it. I'm going to take Boston in the money line in Game 6.
Solid.
Because that way, if they win Game 6, I go to 7, and then I'm free rolling again for a money line in Game 7. Or if they end up losing, then I simply win the 10-1 bet. So I'll be taking the Celtics money line in Game 6 just to hedge with the Heat series. So
all right, very good.
Yep.
Very good. So let's talk a little bit about this game here tonight, Scott, as we look at the Lakers and the Nuggets. You keep inching that line down just a little bit. It's down to 5.5 now, Scott. Lakers by 5.5. 213.5 is the total. You know, this. You're right. It's hard to make this play without knowing the status of AD. I'm like you. I'm assuming he's going to play. This is a big game situation, but you don't know what percentage of good he's going to be. Although, through the wonders of modern chemistry, those guys usually don't show a ton of effects.
Unless if you're a member of the Chargers medical staff. Then somehow you make your players even more injured than they were before.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that much. We might hit that during the NFL.
Put that during the NFL show because we got to talk about the Chargers game. But if we're talking about the advances in modern medicine, apparently giving somebody a painkiller injection is a little bit too complicated for some doctors.
Man, Wally pipped him right there. Scott, I've ridden the Nuggets here pretty well, although they certainly got close last time in a game that was never, really that close.
I'm leaning Denver. I'm just going to go out and say it because I don't know why. I feel like even though Anthony Davis should be playing in this game, does a part of me feel like the Lakers might try to lighten his workload because they're up 3-1? Maybe. I think if it was 2-2, I think AD would play 40-something minutes because he has to. They are up 3-1. There is a chance that if this game is either dicey or something like that, do you think they could potentially eliminate these minutes, or am I talking crazy talk?
I do, and I'll tell you why. It's because Dwight Howard showed
very good
in the last game,
yeah.
And I think that maybe they might trust him a little bit more to play some more minutes. I don't think that's a terribly crazy idea. I don't know at what point in the game. What lead is safe with Denver? I mean, I guess if you're up 20 in the fourth. But
it's not a matter of leads. It's just a matter of going into the game. Are you going to say, we're only going to play him 30 minutes? Which is a possibility. Do I think that's going to happen? No. But I think that is worth having the conversation because at the end of the day, even though the Nuggets are the kings of coming back from 3-1, the Lakers still have 2 cracks after this one anyway, assuming it doesn't work out. I know that you're talking dicey because you want to end it now. But if AD can potentially make his ankle any worse moving forward, I think the Lakers would not be afraid to potentially, I don't want to say shut him down early, but at least limit his, I'd say, vulnerability in the ankle.
Let me take the other side of that, Scott. If they shut him down tonight, they get extra rest. If they can take care of business here and shut down the Nuggets in this game, AD gets a whole bunch of days rest where they don't have to make any kind of decisions at all about what happens to him. So, is it possible on the other side of the coin that maybe they just
it really all depends on AD. Depends on how his ankle's feeling. Of course, he's going to tell the doctors it's fine, but they're going to examine it. And truth is, when I saw it live, it looked pretty bad. Did I think that it was broken or anything? Of course not. But I thought that it was a pretty bad sprain. If you saw it live, you landed right on Millsap's leg, and you saw everyone who's played basketball knows that feeling. It's just a matter of how severe it is.
I will. You know what? I'll fade you. We faded each other last time, and it worked out barely for me. I
pushed, so you won, and I free rolled. So yeah.
Give me a 6-point cover again here. I'll take the Lakers minus the 5.5. I think they're focused. I think they come out ready, and I think they want to close out Denver right here to give all the old guys an extra few days off. Give me a.
Don't get me wrong. I'd be happy if you won because I still have the late. I don't want to. I'm tired of the Nuggets knocking off or making me sweat some of my teams. But
by the way, it's the same. It's the same logic that I employed the last two times when the Nuggets were up 3-1 or when the Nuggets were down 3-1.
Yeah,
I employed the exact same logic in Game 5 of each. So we'll see.
It's just a matter of the Nuggets have been hanging around, and now AD, who when he was healthy was killing the Nuggets, but the Nuggets still hung tough the last couple of games, and now. Yeah. He's not at 100%, so I can understand why this line has crept downward. Of course, this line's going to plummet if AD doesn't play. Do I think he's not going to play? Of course not. I think he's going to play. But I think Denver's in a decent spot here because I know for a fact that some teams, even like Boston, for example, who ended up winning tonight down 3-1, some teams will roll over and some teams won't. And I know for a fact Denver's not going to roll over.
No, I don't think we've got any issues with either one of those teams, with Boston or with Denver rolling over. They've shown
that's resilience. The point. So what I'm saying is that even though the spot doesn't look great, I know if Denver goes down early, they're not going to pack it in.
I agree with that.
That's why I like it, because if it gets ugly early, I know that the Denver's at least not going to throw in the towel, so to speak. They're going to fight for a full 48 minutes. That's all I'm saying.
It's right in that 3 to 6 zone where they start fouling, man.
Oh, no, the line itself is awful. I'm not going to bet the game. I'm just stating a fact. If I had to lean one way, I'm leaning Denver.
Well, you do have to lean one way. That's kind of
correct. I'm saying I'm not putting my own personal bankroll on it, but I'm leaning Denver.
People don't tune into that and go, Mom.
I'm just stating a fact, man. I mean, that's the thing is that people have been talking about either just all over Twitter or just even on the comment section in our videos that, sometimes the picks don't work out, etc. These lines we mentioned this a couple weeks ago. Yeah. These lines have been really, really sharp.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, especially this series has been especially good.
Correct.
The totals in the other would have been good. So, that's the thing. You go from spending hours and hours handicapping games to just kind of looking over the stats, looking over the game flow, and the process becomes a lot shorter as you get towards because the lines get sharper and it's brutal. In reality, I'm probably not going to play much on this. It's going to be college football day for me. But I'll take the Lakers to close them out. I have to be right 1 out of 3 times with this 3-1 scenario.
I have to ask you one thing, though. Does it make any sense that money's coming in on the under? I know that it's because Anthony Davis might not play, etc. He's also the Lakers' best defender.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with that. If that number keeps falling.
I'm assuming if AD hypothetically does not play, you're going to move LeBron to the 4? Or maybe move like Kuzma or Morris into the you're going to go smaller, right?
I would think you don't have a choice.
That's what I'm saying. Which should lead to higher, to more pace. I'd have to assume as much. Plus the last two
I agree, and you're also going to give Jokic a freer reign.
Correct, and it's also a matter of the fact that both these games have totaled at least 120. 220. So I understand that AD, usually puts up 20-something points, and the Lakers will have to manufacture. He also impacts a ton of shots defensively.
Yep.
And I think that plays a factor.
Yeah, I think you've got to replace somewhere closer to 10 or 12 points.
Yeah, I'm looking over because I don't get the line movement downward.
Yeah, I think that's solid. It was 213 last time they went to 222.
And I'm not going to overreact to line movement in the other direction because, believe it or not, the Miami and Celtics game, I believe, had money to the under today. And that game went over by about 10, 15 points.
Yeah. Like I said, we had to sweat it. We had to sweat it a little bit in the first half there.
But I'm saying, though, money came in on the under and it was dead wrong. So I'm not going to overreact to some of these line moves on the total, especially with an injury uncertainty where even if the player is injured, that just means the Lakers' defense will get worse.
Oh, no. I'm all about fading the line move.
Yeah.
I will 8 times out of 10, it's going to be donk money. And I'd be happy to fade the public each and every
time. Once again, you've had the last 2 games go to 220. So if you give me a total of 213.5, I'll gladly just take the over.
Yeah, they've raised the number every time in the Celtics Heat series.
Keeps going over.
And it keeps going over. And this keeps going over, and they've dropped it because of AD. So, and the odds makers are trying to play it right in the tweener zone, Scott. They're trying to have it baked in a little bit, but they can't have it fully baked in until they get any kind of a piece of information. So they cut the line a little bit down to 5.5.
Well, how limited do you think AD is going to be? Of course, it's all speculation on our part, but do you think AD is going to look anywhere near how he's looked so far the entire season? Or do you think will see some limitations?
Man, I have no idea. I mean, I used to roll ankles all the time, and
it's never fun, believe it or not.
No, it's never fun. But you know what? You can wrap them, and they do electrical stimulation now. I mean, he's obviously probably been doing electrical stimulation since the game was over. All kinds of shots to kill the pain. 85%.
I'd probably agree with that.
That's somewhere in that neighborhood. You or me, about 45.
Yeah, that's fair.
But these guys are elite athletes, and they're in great shape as well. So fantastic shoes. So yeah, let's play I'll play the Lakers. I'll watch that. I'll watch that number, man. I think it's at like the 212 range or something. I got to jump on that for real.
Give or take. I know that for the spread, I'll lean Nuggets, but at the end of the day, I feel better about the total.
Agreed. I don't think there's anything like the under. If AD is gone out of there or limited, that just is like it's like recess for Denver. I think Jokic has a chance to go for 35 or so.
Yeah.
All right, very good. That's our NBA show. 1 down, 2 to go. So we'll be back in just a minute to do the MLB show. As always, we appreciate your comments. We appreciate it if you would give us a thumbs up for the video. Of course, subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. And let us know what you're playing. Any games you're on today? What do you think of the NBA? What side are you on? Are we out of our minds, or are we on to something here? And of course, if you want to check out even more information, a little deeper dive, you can check out winnersandwhiners.com, not just for this game, but for every game. Anything you have any questions, head over there to winnersandwhiners.com. But for myself and for Scott Reichel, for all of us over here at winnersandwhiners.com, appreciate you watching today. Wish you good luck on all of your plays. Hope you cash every single ticket that's in your hand. And we'll see you next time on Today in Sports Betting. Take care, everybody.